Hi everyone, I'm not at my desk, but I just thought I'd record my take on what we've just seen in the women's final in New York. Williams wasn't happy from the start. She wasn't serving well. She was being hurried by Osaka and went a break behind. During that first set, the umpire saw some hand gestures from Serena's coach that he interpreted as coaching and gave her a code violation. She complained, as you'd expect, saying that she never cheats. She won't cheat to win. She'd rather lose, and that she didn't receive any coaching. At the next change of ends, there was a discussion between her and the umpire, where she said, "I just want to make it clear, I didn't receive any coaching. I don't cheat." The umpire said something along the lines of, "I know you don't cheat, but that's what I saw." And she said, "Well, I appreciate you saying that. Thank you for saying that." And that seemed to be the end of it. There was no mention of remove the code violation, which I don't think he could do anyway. And she continued with the match. She lost the set quite easily, 6-2. In the second set, she went a break-up 3-1 after a very long game that lasted 7-8 minutes, I think. And serving at 3-1, she was broken very easily. Obviously not happy with herself, smashed the racket on the ground. Now the rule with that is, as I understand it, that if the racket needs to be replaced, you get a code violation. If you can continue to use the racket, you get away with it. The racket was screwed. No way she could use it. She gets code violation. But that's a second code violation on top of the first one that she got in the first set, and that's a point penalty. So instead of Osaka starting the next game at 2-3, she was starting at 2-3, 15 love. She didn't think that was right. She thought the discussion with the umpire was that he was going to remove the code violation. It shouldn't be a point penalty. Should just be a warning. The umpire, very experienced umpire, wasn't having it, and it stood. At the next change of ends, there was more abuse, really, from Williams towards the umpire. You owe me an apology. She tries to intimidate umpires and players often. I'm not a fan of her as a person, as a player. She's obviously a great player. She's achieved a great deal in her career. She's not a nice person. The little girl voice that she puts on in press conferences is fake, it's false, it's bullshit. So she's trying to intimidate this experienced referee, saying, "You owe me an apology, you need to announce it now that you're apologising." And he's just like, "No." She says, "Well, don't talk to me." So he thought, fine. He probably thought, "I don't want to talk to you anyway," and he's just looking straight ahead. But she kept on going. She said something on the lines of, "You'll never umpire another match while I'm on court." There was other things that I'm sure we missed, and at some point, I didn't actually hear, but she admitted to it herself, she called him a thief, that he'd stolen a point from her. And as a result of all that, all taken together, he decided he wasn't taking this abuse and gave her another code violation for verbal abuse. Now, the third violation is a game penalty. So instead of Osaka, what stage was the game at now? Osaka got back to 3-all, broke serve again. So instead of Osaka serving at 4-3, Williams was now serving at 3-5, having had a game penalty. She has another meltdown. Tournament referee gets called. The only thing as she did the last time she had a problem at the US Open, which was when she threatened to ram a ball down a linesman's throat and threatened to kill her and then denied all that. All she mentioned was, "I shouldn't be getting a violation for calling him a thief because he took a point." She just ignored all the other threats about you'll never umpire a match of mine again. The referees said, and she actually almost put words in the tournament referee's mouth, saying, I know you can't change it, but it's not fair. It's not fair. The tears came then. She thinks she's above everybody else. I've seen that there were two that sprang to mind while I was thinking about it, while I was walking the dogs just now. The one was the incident with the linesperson that I think was in the final against Clijsters, and she ended up defaulting, or the point penalty gave the match to Clijsters. There was another incident that I remember, really because it highlights why I think the way I do about her. She was playing Jankovic, which gives you an idea of how long ago it was. Jankovic was serving, and Serena was taking so long in between points. Now the rule is you play to the speed of the server, and Jankovic got pissed off with this and said to the umpire, "How long do I have to wait?" To which Serena boomed down from the other side of the court, "Until I'm ready." That's not the rule, and she thinks the rules don't apply to her. She thinks she's so badly done to her. She says it always happens to her. No, it doesn't. It's happened a couple of times. So I think the referee is spot on. The coaching was shown on the on film that the coach was making hand gestures, telling her to move forward in the court. She was getting pushed back by Osaka's power. That's coaching. And she did actually say in one of the earlier discussions with the umpire about it, I can understand how you think that was coaching. Now, to me, I interpret that as she saw it. And if she saw it, she received coaching. So I don't know what she's bitching about. The crowd were obviously on her side. It's her, it's her country. I hope it doesn't take too much away from, and I'm sure it won't, Osaka's win. She thoroughly deserved it. Serena was losing and didn't like it. So that's my 2 pennies worth. She cost me a bit of money as well, which pissed me off. I did think about switching to Osaka after the first set because she was nowhere near, but I didn't. That's tennis, that's the way it goes. But it just pees me off when she thinks she is above everybody else and that the rules don't really apply to her. Okay, that's it. I will see you tomorrow, and hopefully we do a bit better in the men's.